Welcome to The Explainer. We're all about breaking down the latest science to help you keep your mind sharp, especially in this crazy digital age. And today, you're in for a treat because we're looking at some brand new and honestly pretty surprising rules for your brain health as we look ahead to 2026. So let's just get right to it. Is your smartphone your brain's worst enemy, or could it actually be an ally? We've been told for years that our phones are making us dumber, right? But what if that's not the whole story? A whole new wave of research is flipping that idea on its head, and you're going to want to hear this. Okay, so here's what we've got on tap. We're going to start by busting a huge myth about tech. Then we'll pivot to a real digital danger you need to know about. After that, we'll dig into a surprisingly old-school brain booster. And to wrap it all up, we'll put together a super simple strategy just for you. Sound good? Let's dive in. All right, first things first, let's tackle the elephant in the room. This idea that our devices are just rotting our brains. You've seen the headlines, I've seen the headlines. But you know what? The actual science is starting to tell a completely different story. So for a long time, the whole debate was basically a tug of war between two big ideas. You had the digital dementia camp saying lifelong tech use is just going to ruin our cognitive skills. And then you had the cognitive maintenance camp with the counter argument that, hey, maybe using this stuff regularly helps keep us sharp. Okay, and this is where it gets really interesting. A gigantic meta-study, we're talking over 410,000 adults over 50, found something pretty mind-blowing. It turns out using digital technology was actually linked to a lower risk of cognitive decline. I mean, wow, that's a huge point for the "it helps us stay sharp" team. And this really shows how the thinking is shifting. Dr. Murali Doraiswamy from Duke put it perfectly. He said, this research overturns the myth that technology is always bad. You can just feel that old, accepted wisdom starting to fall apart. But we've got to pump the brakes just a little bit. This is a classic correlation doesn't equal causation situation. So while the link is super strong, we can't say for sure that using tech causes better brain health, right? It could just be that people who are already pretty sharp are the ones who are more likely to use tech in the first place. We still need more research to nail down that cause and effect relationship. Okay, so this doesn't mean we can just say all tech is good and call it a day. Not even close. It's super important to remember that not all screen time is the same, and there's one specific digital habit that the research says we really need to be careful with. You know that feeling? The author of the article we're looking at, Paul Hessier, put it so well. He said that after 20 or 30 minutes of scrolling short videos, he feels the cognitive equivalent of eating too much junk food. And man, I think we can all relate to that, right? That fuzzy, mentally bloated feeling after you fall down a rabbit hole. And it's not just a feeling. The science is starting to back this up big time. A massive review of 71 different studies found links between watching a ton of these short videos and a decrease in some really important brain functions, like our attention span and our ability to control our impulses. Now, again, let's keep some perspective here. Experts like Dr. James Jackson are quick to point out that, historically, older generations have kind of freaked out about every new thing. Rock and roll, comic books, video games, you name it. So we need to be smart about this, but let's not fall into another moral panic. All right, let's switch gears completely. We're going to move away from the high-tech world and talk about a shockingly simple, incredibly powerful tool for your brain. It's something humans have been doing forever. I'm talking about taking a nap. And get this, a 2023 study found something truly fascinating. They discovered that people who are regular daytime nappers might actually have a larger total brain volume. Think about that. That's a huge indicator of good brain health and could even act as a buffer against some of that degeneration that happens over time. And okay, while we need more research to lock in the long-term benefits, other studies have shown some really clear, immediate wins. A good nap, somewhere in that 30 to 90-minute sweet spot, can help with stuff like recalling words, performing better on creative tasks, all kinds of good things. And here's the best part. You don't have to carve out an hour and a half for a full-on siesta. The author of the piece we're drawing from says he finds that even a quick micro nap, like 5 or 10 minutes, can give him a serious cognitive boost on a busy day. That's something pretty much anyone can try. So where does that leave us? We've got this surprising potential ally in our tech and this totally old-school brain booster in napping. So the big question is, how do we pull all this together into a simple, practical strategy for our brains? Okay, let's boil it all down. Based on what the latest science is telling us, here are 3 simple resolutions you can actually use. Number 1, use your technology, but be mindful about it. Ditch the guilt. Number 2, watch out for that short-form video trap. Seriously, try to avoid that endless scroll. And number 3, embrace the power of the nap. Even a tiny one can make a world of difference. So there you have it. We've given you the science, but what happens next? Well, that's up to you. What's the one small change you're going to start tomorrow? Maybe it's swapping just 15 minutes of scrolling for a quick power nap. Or maybe it's using an app to learn something new. Whatever it is, a small change today can make a huge difference for your brain tomorrow. So, what's it going to be?